Welcome back to another Healing Conversation podcast with your favorite self-care coach and motivator, Addie Speaks. Today, I have a lovely guest on here. She is a visionary, a coach, and she is somebody who always stays positive. So to have encountered her in such a season as I was already in, which is a healing season, it was very, very thoughtful. Like, I thank God every day for meeting her, because it's rare that you meet somebody in your season that can understand who you are and where you're going. And so when God allowed me to meet her, I was like, and we was always having our conversations, right? Yeah. That's why I was like, she will be perfect for our for my next segment. So today is called Toasting to Becoming Her. And what that means is that you went through the process, you went through your healing pain, you went through your growing pains, you went through all that you needed to go through to become who you are today, which is your divine self. So without further ado, please help me introduce to you guys Monica Seide. Please introduce yourself to the audience. It's my pleasure.
My name is Monica Vertilia Seide.
Yes.
I am a visionary or co-visionary, because God is a visionary.
Yes.
Right. He's the one who wrote it down and put it on my heart.
Yes.
Of AAOL.
Yes.
I am a member of Refuge in the Valley Church.
Yes.
So shout out to my pastor, Apostle Jeff Aristotle, and his wife, Minister Lori Aristotle. I give honor to my leaders. I love them so very much. I give honor to everybody. God, of course.
Yes.
Yes. What do I do? I'm currently working as a 5th grade teacher. You know.
Yes, I know. Trust me.
You know.
Listen.
Right now, I'm definitely pursuing my nonprofit organization, and it's in its foundational stage.
Yes.
And I'm definitely excited to what's to come out of that. But I'm just a lover. You know, I'm a woman of God that is pursuing God, and that wants to do right by God, and wants to do the will of God, and wants to be an emblem of God wherever I go. So that's what I am. I'm a daughter.
Yes.
I'm a future wife. You know, I'm already a wife.
Period.
But I'll be somebody's wife.
Yes.
A sister, teacher, mentor, whatever it is. Whatever God, however I am.
Right.
You know.
Right.
That's how I see it. You don't really have a title. You just flow.
Right.
You're just a woman of God, and you just have all these different faucets to you that you pour out of. So,
because you come open to allow God to use you in every arena.
Definitely.
And I remember asking you to tell me your story, and you said, "I got my heart broken, and it was hard to face myself."
Oof.
Oh man,
girl, you about to make me cry.
Let's talk about that.
Oh Lord.
Let's talk about
that. So this is the first time I'm actually like talking about it.
Yes.
Because I've never talked about, if anybody was to know I'm not in a relationship, I didn't tell them. They just speculated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I never went anywhere, not on social media, no nothing. If you know, you knew, but I never said anything to anybody.
Right.
You know, because that was hard for me. That was a hard loss.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes beyond just the relationship. It goes back to my mom.
Right.
You know, it goes back to whatever I endured.
Yeah.
And I think everything just piled up. And the moment I lost my ex, we broke up, I felt like I lost everything.
Right.
Because to me, in my mind, I'm like, yo, I finally got it.
Right.
I'm finally here.
Right.
You know, I thought to myself that that we got it all. Like, this is my person. Like, we're going to build. I was so intentional about us and my relationship with him, because he was a very genuine person, very good person. And I got lots of love for him because he helped me navigate through life.
Right.
And I thank him for all that he has done. But there was a time in that season where we had to depart from each other.
Right.
And in that season, I knew God was talking to me, because, you know, I feel like everybody comes into your life and they play a vital moment, and sometimes you have to be willing to relinquish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When the trajectory of your life changes and it is changing, you have to relinquish what God is telling you to do. And I was very scared, because I'm like, God, I was willing to stay in my relationship
and
suffer, whatever the case may be, instead of facing myself.
Right.
And that's a hard truth.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people don't like to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
And it was really hard because I'm like, so you telling me I got to face myself?
Yes.
I got to face my wounds. I got to face my childhood trauma.
Come on, you're going there.
Like, I had to face all of these things that I was running away from and trying to mask because I had somebody there.
Right.
You know, and people don't talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it.
Right.
Like, your truth is your truth, my truth is my truth.
Right.
But when you don't have a parent and you of course you have family, but you don't have that immediate family,
right.
it's different.
Yeah.
Because you want to build your own family. You want to pursue these very things. And I'm a lover.
Oh, yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
You know, God made me like this. And
Listen.
I can't change who I am. Like, but, I love love.
But see, that's a superpower.
Yeah.
Love is a superpower.
It is. And I bless God for it because it's a gift.
Yes.
That many people cannot do. Like,
yes.
I love my kids. And I know you see how much I love my kids. And I just, I really,
she mean
love
from
God.
school, y'all. From school.
From all of them.
Yes.
My kids, my nieces, nephews, all of them. I love them so much. And I'm just a lover at heart, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I would guess they would say I'm a hopeless romantic, whatever.
Yeah.
I believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe in love. I believe in grace. I believe in mercy.
Yeah.
Because God is love, you know, and that's what He put in my heart.
Yeah.
And not everybody will understand who you are, but I had to face myself, and it was scary.
Yeah. Talk about that part.
It was scary because when God was already talking to me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't listening.
Right.
And the moment I found myself, I said, because I love clarity.
Right.
I love clarity.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with clarity.
Like, okay? I just have to be in a space where it's clarity. There's clarity involved. And I was talking to God. I'm like, you know what, Lord? I need you to speak, because what does my life look like? I'm about to be 29. At the time, I was 28.
Right.
I'm about to be 29, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do and everything like that. And I was in a moment like I have to be very intentional about what I'm building.
Correct.
So I prayed to God, and I was asking God, and, you know, God was like, hey, you got to relinquish.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I got to do what?
Yeah.
And
that's that pain.
I'm like, nah, Lord. I was like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I love this person too much. Yeah. And we got to be careful because we idolize.
Right.
And I was idolizing.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
That was my idol.
Yeah.
My relationship was my idol.
Right.
I came to a moment where, like, it could have been my identity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I knew I didn't have it all, but I was okay if that was all of
right,
it, if that makes sense.
Like, you was okay unknowingly forfeiting the things that God has for you just for the sake of that relationship.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not to say that I'm not saying nothing bad, but it's self-awareness.
Correct.
It's me. It's not the person. It's Monica.
Right.
What I was dealing with, what I seen, what was projecting out of me, what
my
you tolerated. Perspective.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when God wants more for you, you have to rise up to that standard.
Right.
You know, so I had to face myself, and, man, I was brokenhearted, because if anybody know,
come on,
they know I was in love.
Listen,
I was in love.
Can we jump to that? Girl, ain't nothing wrong with love.
I was really in love. Like, that was my baby.
Yeah.
That really was.
Yeah.
And I know people are gonna be like, why are you still talking? He played a
huge role.
A huge role in my life. Right. You know? And I'm never gonna talk about nobody bad. And I'm not gonna kick you down. Because you didn't kick me down. I'm not gonna kick you down. That's not my language.
And listen, and even if that person did,
it is what it is.
That has nothing to do with you.
Oh, for sure. I'm not gonna allow foul language to come out of my lips.
Correct.
I would never.
Correct.
You can say whatever. It is what it is. I may not have been good to you. This goes for anybody, friendship, whoever. But I know you was good to me, and you played a vital, and I honor that.
Right.
Because I don't take that lightly. You know, so the moment that I realized that, I'm like, yo, all right. Because I've been playing for clarity all year.
Yeah.
And that was it.
So then I wanted to ask you, when you was facing yourself, because I had to, what are some of the things that you saw that God revealed to you? Because when I was facing myself and God was revealing those things to me, I cried. Right. Because I was like, God, I never knew. Because sometimes we could be at fault.
Yeah, for sure.
Can we talk about that?
For sure. So let me tell you.
Oh, go listen. Go ahead.
You know, I'm going to just be as transparent, and whoever receives is receiving, who doesn't. Right. I really don't care, because this is my truth.
Right.
You know, and I was always scared to come on any platform and talk about my truth, because I was scared of the backlash. But you can't backlash me for my truth.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because this is my life. Yeah. So God showed me the issues, because it's not that I wasn't growing.
Right.
It's not that I wasn't fasting or anything like that, but I wasn't tending to what needed to be tended to.
Right.
Right. So there was a lot of abandonment issues that came up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I dealt with a lot of abandonment issues because my dad left and he never came.
Right.
And there was a moment in time of my life, my mom wasn't around, and I'm just like, that hurts.
Yeah.
Because I realized that one of the main things that I dealt with, and I'm still overcoming, is I was very defensive.
Right.
Like I don't care. I wanted to fight whoever.
Right.
I was a firecracker.
Listen.
Like, you said what? Like, I really was about that life, and that was when I was younger. Like, I didn't care. I fought anybody. I'm dead serious. Like, yes, and I was a sweetheart, but I found myself, I couldn't defend myself because I didn't have nobody to defend me.
Right.
Because it's like, when you become a punching bag for everybody, it's like, y'all taking, like, that's what I felt like I was becoming or whatever. And so I got very defensive.
Yeah.
Now, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. Yeah. I got very offended by everything, and that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Because that was toxic to my relationship.
Right.
That was toxic to my friendships.
Right.
And stuff like that. And let's talk about how you have to be surrounded by people that understand you.
Right.
And that are gonna help you navigate
through
that. And I just didn't know who I really was.
Right.
Like, I had inclinations of like, yeah, could be you. This could be you or whatever. But I dealt with a lot of trauma, like being molested.
Yeah.
I had to face that.
Yeah.
Dealing with my dad not being around.
Yeah.
I had to do that. My mom dying. I felt like my mom abandoned me.
Wow.
Like, no lie. Like, I felt like my mom had a choice to be alive, and she didn't think about me in that sequence, and it affected me a lot.
Wow.
And like, it really hurts to know, like, and of course it's not her fault. Like, she's not the author of life, but it's like, I just wish she would have consciously thought about me. And I felt like my mom abandoned me. It's hard, like, being 18 and navigating through life, and my whole life changed in a day.
Wow.
I had to move to Florida like 2 weeks later.
Wow.
And I hated it. Wow. I hated it, bro, because it's like, I'm so used to my mom being my pillar, and she was no longer there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so I had to face all of that.
Yeah.
I had to face, because I'm very vulnerable, but I was never vulnerable with my mom's death.
Yeah.
Because the pain was so unbearable.
Right.
Like, the moment I think about it, I shut down.
Yeah.
Like, I close off.
Yeah.
I could talk about anything. We could talk about anything. Talk about why you think like this and that and the third. I'm, like, I could have hard conversations, but when it came to my mother's death, I did not want to talk about it. Really.
Right.
Because there's an unbearable pain that never ceased, and it was just hard, and so I had to face a lot of things. I had to face that I was a nagging woman.
Yeah.
Like, I was, very what's that word? Contentious.
Right.
People don't like to talk about it, but these are thorns that I had to unplug.
Right.
These are thorns that I was like, I'm like, yo, I wouldn't want to deal with me either.
Right.
Like, the way my way of thinking, the assuming.
Yeah.
I had to really divorce those thoughts.
Yeah. I'll call it, what they call it, intrusive thoughts.
Yes. My thoughts of intrusiveness, I'm like, it's not healthy. And I don't blame if I didn't create that healthy environment for you.
Right.
Because I didn't know who I was.
Right.
So I had to face a lot.
Yeah.
And I was very intentional about healing. I'm like, listen.
Yeah. And let's talk about when you are intentional, how that looks like, because sometimes it looks like not being around certain people or not being in that same environment anymore. So when you are intentional about healing, what are some of the things that you had to do? Pull away from, if anything?
So for me, to be honest, I definitely had to get off of social media.
Yeah.
Like, I deactivated my Instagram because I'm like, you see so many things, and it came to a point where, like, I started comparing. I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm about to be 29 years old, and
I don't have this.
Like,
I don't got this going on.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, people like, you're good. You got your master's.
Right.
My master's not gonna keep me warm at night.
Listen.
This degree ain't gonna keep me warm.
Lord.
I can't stand.
Let's tell the truth.
I can't stand when people say, well, you got your... Okay.
That's not the all and be all.
That is not.
And I'm not saying a man is, but there's some things that you would want to have at a certain age accomplished.
Exactly.
And at this time, you are around people that have that, and then you're like, okay, well, I don't have it.
Yeah.
What's
I'm
wrong
like,
with me?
What's wrong with me? And I'm starting to look and stuff like that. So what I had to do, I really had to filter everybody out.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to, when I tell you, I'm very analytic in my thoughts.
Yes. Yes.
So I had to analyze everything.
Everything you did, said, hung
everything,
around.
how I did.
Why
like,
you thought it was okay to this. Everything.
Everything. How I treated.
Yes.
What I said. Because the thing is, people don't like to talk about it.
Yes.
I had faults too.
Yes. Yes.
I had faults, and I was holding myself accountable to what I can learn so that I could apply in my next relationship.
Exactly.
Rather be via friendship.
Yes.
Or whatever, with my pastors, whatever, my cousins, my auntie, whatever,
Yes.
my brother.
Yes.
I had to learn to be better.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I dealt with those thoughts, and I had to move because
Right.
there was so much going on.
Right.
I didn't understand what I was going through.
Right.
I was in this place of a fog, and I'm like, bro, I have to know who I am.
Yeah.
And I was very intentional. I journaled every day.
Yes.
I would affirm myself.
Yes.
I started taking therapy.
Yes.
And there were some times like I had to rely on people. I'm like, yo, I'm not okay.
Yes. Yes.
I cried.
Yes.
I cried.
And you gotta make sure that it's the right people.
It is.
Because sometimes some people don't understand the power of healing or the process that you're in, you know, and then you're corrupted or back to the same old habits, you know. So when you are intentional about your healing, you're moving differently. You're challenging yourself to think differently. So if you got to make that phone call, you got to make that phone call, but to the right person.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think for me, so AAOL could have been built even more, but I have to be real with myself. Like, I didn't want to run off ministry off E.
Yeah. Come on.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's anybody else's story. That's your story. But
Right.
for me,
That's not
I'm gonna be
work.
intentional about myself.
Exactly.
I have to be fortified.
Exactly.
I have to be healed. I have
Exactly.
to talk in a place of love because, I remember my mentor at the time. She would always talk about the analogy of how whenever we go minister or whatever we could do, like you don't heal, you're bleeding on people.
Right.
I didn't want to do that.
Right.
You telling me I'm talking to a woman and I'm not healing and I'm gonna bleed on you?
Right.
No way.
Right.
Baby, you already bleeding.
Exactly.
I'm not about to spill no blood. No.
Yeah.
I will be okay with the year that I have to make up for the time lost.
Oh yeah.
And I had to really slow down on that.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't get to where I need to go.
Right.
Because I noticed that Monica has to be fortified.
Exactly.
Monica has to be rooted.
Exactly.
Monica, I had an event earlier this year, and it's by the grace of God that I executed.
Right.
You know, I was like, God, it was all you.
Give me strength.
It was all you. I wanted to cry.
Yeah.
I was not for it.
Right.
I wasn't, because I'm like, I didn't feel like I had it all. But then I had to realize that God changed my perspective.
Yes.
And through that, I was very intentional. I was like,
Yeah.
I gotta heal.
Yeah.
I gotta heal.
Oh yeah.
I told myself, I'm not passing misère.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go through misery.
Yeah.
Because when you've been through so much in your life,
Yeah.
my answer to whatever trauma, I'm healing.
Exactly.
Because when I was younger, I didn't have the voice. I didn't know how to maneuver. I didn't know how to do this or do that. I told myself, no, you're healing. You cried enough when you was younger.
Yes.
You went through enough
Now
when you
we
was
gotta
younger.
do the work.
I have to do the work. I was very
Yeah.
intentional. And some people, they can see, yo, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because when you build internally,
Yeah.
you build good externally.
And you know, the results always starts in the spirit realm first.
Yeah, for
It's not-
sure.
some people not gonna see it now. They don't live with you. They're not gonna see the tears you cried and the work you put in. But watch when you walk out next year. Come on, 2024.
2024.
Okay? Walk out as gold. And there was something that you said about affirmations. Okay, listen. I ain't the only affirmation queen.
Oh, I
okay,
love
listen. There was a place where I had to be like, sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And that was a season that I was in. I had to use my words as power now because that's all I had.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what are some things that you had to do to what are some places that you had to reaffirm? Because people like to think that what happened to them in high school, elementary, and middle school, or when they were 7 years old, 5 years old, didn't matter. It actually does, because it pops up in your adulthood. So what are some places that you had to reaffirm?
So let me tell you, I had to reparent my childhood.
Oh, come on.
I had to reparent the inner me.
Yes, and some people don't understand the power of reparenting yourself. Even like for me, for example, my mom is still alive. My dad is still alive. I didn't think I had daddy issues because I know my dad. Why would I have daddy issues?
Yeah.
I didn't think I had mommy issues because my mom I live with my mom. But when you go back in your mind and realize there were some areas that was neglected, that was abandoned by mom and dad, that you have to go and reaffirm and reparent, because if you don't, you're going to continue this toxic cycle with not only yourself, but the people around you. Definitely. So that's very important. So I'm sorry to cut you out, but go ahead and say that.
So I had to repair myself. I had to talk to my inner child.
Yes.
I was like, hey Mo, little Mo.
Listen.
Like, girl, oh my God.
Listen.
Can I read something to you?
Please.
I want to read this to you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
While you're doing that, I remember a memory popped up when I was in elementary, and I had to reaffirm myself. And I said, no, you are smart. No, you can do this. No, you are amazing. No, you are beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like those memories will pop up to try to tell you, no, you're defeated. No, you can't do this. But if you use the power that God gave you to reparent yourself, you can come out of that.
Yeah. So I'm going to read this to you. Because I'm very intentional, whatever like that, right? I'm not going to read too much of it, but I'm going to read you
how it looks like.
How it looks like.
Yeah.
So I said, wow, look at you now, today. You actually hear your thoughts. Wow. You get the feel of the sun rays on your melanin. Yeah. You feel the wind blowing. You're breathing the air of God that God has breathed into you. You're doing better. Thank God. You're rebuilding. You're refocusing. You're resetting. Now you're a teacher. You're in therapy. Wow. Your confidence has grown. You know your worth, your value. Thank you for doing the best, keeping yourself. You deserve laughs. Thank you, Big Mo, for protecting little Momo. Yeah. She was bruised. You stepped into reparenting her. It's the best thing you could have done. Taking your time and listening to me, her little you. I'm so proud of you, my love. Thank you for making me better. Pruning, it was worth it. Wow. The letting go was worth it. The sleepless nights, the tears drenching my pillows at night was worth it. Yeah. I was like, thank you, Abba, for being a father into me. Yes. So I was in a place where I had to repair myself, and I had to really deal with a lot of things. Yeah. You know, okay, Mo, why do you react like that? Yeah. What happened? Yeah. I had to go back. Yeah. And it taught me, because I want to be intentional about anybody. Oh, yeah. Everybody. Yeah. Because what I've learned through what I've done to me is I have to protect the inner person, that you're the little you. Yeah. You know, I have this friend, my sister, I love her to death. Yes. Her name is Dane, and me and her exchange that, and me and her would talk about how we have to take care of the inner person within us. Oh, yeah. Like, if I tell her something, she listens. Mm-hmm. If she tells me, I listen. Yeah. And I learned the value of treating the inner person within me. Yeah. Through that relationship. Right. And even though I knew I was reparenting myself, but when you don't know what you put into practice until it's time to come to play.
Until you're in a test, until you're in that season.
And I realized that I have to protect my friend.
Oh, yeah.
And that made me want to, when I get married, I want to protect my husband.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't want to talk at you. Yeah. I want to talk with you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to assume I want you to understand. Yeah. Help me understand.
That communication, like, it's really good that you said that, because when you do get into another dynamic, you want to make sure you come in as aware as possible. Definitely. That I'm aware of that he was a child too, and then he may have gotten abandoned, that he may still deal with that issue. I want to come in aware enough to know how to approach him. Definitely. You know?
And I had to learn that we can love anybody and everybody, but you have to love yourself. Oh, yeah. And I fell in love with myself. I love myself so much. Like, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm just like, you are so amazing. Yeah,
like, and you did it.
Oops.
You did it.
And I'm still growing. And I look at myself and I'm like, you're so amazing. You are. I just love Monica. Yes. Like, I really do. Yes. And Monica may not be everybody to know everybody, but she everything to me.
Listen, I ain't got to be everybody's cup of tea.
Oh, baby. Okay?
But for me, in my cup, it's going to always be filled.
Listen, in Jesus' name.
Listen, let's toast to that. We're going to always be filled. But when you said the reparenting and then going in deeper and you loving yourself, that healing journey can take you there. People don't understand the power of self-love. People don't understand the power of self-care. When you start with self first, everything else falls into line. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So tell me how that looked like when you, because people don't understand there's a different way you move with yourself when you love yourself. Okay, you just can't trust yourself in anybody's hands.
No, definitely.
And you grow to understand that, like, oh, I know I shouldn't just be around this person, and I'm okay with that. I have to be, because if I don't, then I compromise my well-being. So then, how did that self-love look like to you? How did it make you feel?
So I'm gonna just be a little transparent. So there was this guy that wanted to talk to me and everything like that, and and I bless God because he giving me discernment.
Listen,
my eyes,
the healing journey will open your eyes. Okay, like you just gonna be, oh, I already see you from the door.
Listen,
you ain't gotta walk through it.
I'm telling you, the way that God has shown me things, like,
yes,
all you gotta do is talk. There's certain things I could see.
Right. You ain't even gotta tell me nothing.
I just know.
You could try to hide
your
it.
intentions and everything like that.
Exactly.
I bless God for the gift of discernment.
Exactly.
Because there's certain things I could discern. So at a point in time, I'm like, okay, just getting to know the person, and then he talked real reckless with me, and I said, "Sir, who are you talking to?"
Right.
I said, "I ain't never disrespect you like that, but you know what? Don't ever think would ever be a thing, because we would never be a thing.
Right.
Because of how you talk to me. Because if you could talk to me as a friend,
it would only get. Hello, people. It only gets worse, because in any way, I want somebody to be careful how they approach me.
Yeah.
Because if you're not careful how you approach somebody, I don't care if you're upset or not, and that's something I'm still working on. Hello, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But if you're aware to know that I can pop off and not pop off, you good.
Yeah.
If you're not aware that you can pop off and you still pop off on somebody that you want to build something with, there's a great chance, if that person's smart enough, they're not going to continue with you.
Absolutely not. They're not safe.
Listen, that's not a safe place for you.
Like, and I'm like, nah. Like, I bless God because I started seeing things. I'm like, this is the type of man I want.
Right.
I started looking, I'm analyzing, I'm like, yeah, you cute, you got this, and you know,
you got the
stuff.
swag.
But, bro,
what's
fortifying you?
Exactly.
Because I want a man of God.
Who is the head of your house?
Yeah, I want a man of God. I'm not letting up for that.
So then that falls into under self-worth.
Yeah.
Because some people don't know their worth enough to know, like, you could be fine as the can of, what's your favorite candy? I like Trolleys. Listen,
I like chocolate. Like,
you could be
chocolate.
fine as you could be, but if you are going to cause me harm internally, mentally, spiritually, physically, there is no way we're going to continue.
Oh, for sure not.
I'm not because I have self-worth, I don't compromise that no more.
Not at all.
Because like you said, the healing journey can open your eyes. I can see you.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you're trying to hide or whatever you've been dealing with, I see it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to approach you knowing who you are, also respecting your journey, because you may not have tapped into healing yet.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, so what are we going to do? Now you have this level of awareness. I could deal with somebody that wants to learn.
Yeah, you got to be working on yourself. There's a difference, yeah.
But somebody that blatantly want to, and they choose this,
hurt, yeah.
Nah, I can't, because my language is love.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And you shouldn't have to compromise that.
No,
yeah.
I'm not changing that. Like, of course, I had to learn a lot of things, like my tonality sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, my tone could come off a little, rough.
Watch yourself.
And I'm like, you know what? I really want to be soft-spoken. Like, it talks about in the book of Proverbs, it talks about a woman of Proverbs, how her words are like honey.
Right.
It's gentle and sweet to the soul. And that's what I want to be. Because if we're God's children, regardless, relationship or not, this go beyond that. I have to love you as my neighbor.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when it says love yourself as you love your neighbor, how would you want to be speaking to?
Exactly.
Like, you don't want nobody coming at you and being condescending and all these different things. Nah, don't talk to me like that.
Right.
Well, of course, we could fight. We could be mad at each other. But at the end of the day, what are we going to do?
Yeah. Like,
how are we going to move forward?
Even with the fighting, I always say, watch your words, because you can never take that back.
Oh, for sure.
I don't care how much you think you can say, I'm sorry. You watch your words. I'd rather you say it in your head and ask God for forgiveness or journal it.
Yeah.
But don't you dare let it come out your mouth, because one thing about a heart, it's a garden. And once you plant that seed, which is your word, whether you want it or not, it's going to grow. And that person going to fight every day because that person said sorry. So they didn't really mean it. And what they don't know is that they're fighting the voice that they heard you. They're fighting that comment that you said, that whatever you said that brought them down, they're fighting that, but they're also trying to stay present with you. So they're going to continuously be fighting. That's why some people be like, why is she still mad at me? because she's fighting what you just said.
Yeah, you don't understand the word. Listen, there is power in your words. That's why I'm very careful with what I say.
Exactly.
That's why, like, I don't make enemies for anybody.
Exactly.
I don't care. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I don't make enemies for anybody. Okay? The only enemy that I'm enemy is with the devil.
Old version. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything,
the old man, whatever the
old
case
self.
may be. Not even that, like, she didn't know.
Exactly.
You know, not even my old self. Like, I just don't want you back. I'm
right.
gonna leave you dead.
I'm gonna let you know you good where you at.
But at the end of the day, like, I think that we don't talk about it. There was one time I was very malicious with my words back in the days. Yeah. Like, as sweet as I could be, my words.
You was cutting.
Ooh. Deep. It felt good to me. I got a thrill out of it. And that's a problem. Yeah. I got a thrill out of hurting people's feelings. Wow. Because I didn't know. I wanted you to feel what I felt, because when I was younger, you'll never be nothing. Like, that's all I heard. Right. So that started becoming my language. Right. That's what I started speaking. Right. Even though I knew there was a sweet side to me. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I wanted you to feel what I felt in the moment. Right. But I remember one time I was talking to a friend. And then this was a long time ago, and he had pissed me off so bad. Listen. And this was 2014, because I had got in 2014 or 2015. 2015. Yeah. I had got in a car accident. Yeah. And I was just so mad, and I was coming from the chiropractor, and I said something. I was like, whatever the case may be. He was like, that's your problem. I said, what do you mean? He was like, your words. Yeah. He was like, your words are like a rock that goes into the ocean. You don't know how deep it goes. Wow. And when God tells us to be careful to guard our hearts, and it's for the benefit of us and that person. Yeah. It's to save you, because many times, like, we sabotage destiny helpers. Right. Because you can't conduct yourself. Right. You don't know how to speak. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And that taught me a valuable lesson. I said, you know what? God, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be a condescending woman. Right. I don't want to be this. I don't want to be that. Like, now I'm in this place. I'm like, I don't care. Like, any woman I see like that, stay away. Yeah, stay away. Because that means you lack self-control. Oh, for sure. Like, I don't want to be a nagging woman. Yeah, and I had to learn that. Yeah, I don't want to be a woman that doesn't have self-control, or a over emotional woman and everything like that. Yeah, and I had to learn to be logical through everything. Yeah, because sometimes I was swayed through my emotions, and logically, I wasn't built in a sense. Right. Like, I knew what I knew, but it wasn't concrete in a sense, right? But now I understand that I have to analyze it first, and then maybe if it falls on the grounds of my heart, it could fall. Right. But say, for instance, if a man's pursuing me right now, you're not being intentional. Yeah. That tells me and you not together. We ain't doing nothing. Yeah. Because in my mind, in my heart, although I want to plan, I want to, be your wife, and logically, I got to be like, you're not moving with intention. Exactly. So that means there's nothing concrete. Exactly. So, So I think that we have to be very careful on how we speak, because at the end of the day, people just got trauma. Yeah. No matter how much they healed. Yeah, and I don't care who it is, and it could be a pastor, you could be an apostle, you could be Joe Biden. Everybody got trauma. Right. Right. And it's not to say that that I'm trying to give your identity in that. Not to say you don't heal, but I want you to face it. Go back into those places. Like, mommy did hurt you. Daddy did hurt you. And sometimes it's not mommy and daddy. It's uncles. It's aunties. It's cousins, little brothers and sisters that's intentionally, sometimes unintentionally hurting you. Yeah. You got to go back into these areas and figure out what happened, so I can not, my grown self, my adult self can fix it, because now I have therapy. Like you said in the beginning, I can make phone calls. Mm-hmm. I can go to surround myself with community that understand where I am and where I can be. Important. You know? Community is very important. And I'm so grateful for my community, because, like, my church people, they really came through. Yeah. Like, I've seen people heal by themselves, but even though I was, like, by myself, but my church community, I'm so grateful for them. Right. Like, they're like, Mo, you gonna make it? Yeah. And people think breakup is a little thing. It's not. Little. It's devastation. Do you know what devastation is? And listen, sometimes you just gotta be in a relationship with that person. You know, they always talk about how relationships can make or break you, and that relationship almost broke me. Yeah. But it made me. It broke me. Yes, it did. But it made me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm saying, like, I'm so grateful. Right. For the experience. Right. Because I'm not gonna use it as a moment to bash. No, I grew. Thank you. Right. So I want to give you your flowers. Right. Because you helped me grow.
Right.
Because there's a lot of things I've learned, and that makes me want to make sure that, all right, this is what I want. I want to tap into my femininity. Like, you know, I was feminine.
I want to live that soft girl. You know, like, I'm not stressing over anything that don't need my attention.
No, not at all. Like, and I think people think when you think about soft life, no, it's just like being gentle with yourself, loving yourself,
finally be able to sleep at night.
Oh, baby,
not crying those ugly tears. You know,
I be going to sleep. Listen, you know, and I just bless God because, and first and foremost, my best friend God, like, God carried me through.
Oh yeah, listen,
it's God.
I'm telling you.
Hey, about to make me start praying in tongues.
Listen, I'm trying to tell you, go back and allow God to mend you. Okay, I'm telling you, if it wasn't for God, like for me personally, and I know some people gonna probably reject this, but this is my life now. Mm-hmm. I had to stop church hopping to find God.
Yeah.
Boy, if I could bang on something, I had to stop church hopping to find God for real. And when I found him, he was like, he showed me a memory where he was trying to heal me, and I got up too quick. And then he asked me, are you gonna let me do it now? I said, listen, I ain't got nothing. I felt so depleted. Mm-hmm. I was crushed. I was like, God, if you please just do it.
Oh Lord.
I surrendered that day.
Oh yeah.
And I dared myself, don't put yourself around certain people, please, because what God is about to do in your life, you cannot be distracted. Yeah. And it looked at like, oh, Addie thinks she better than me. No, Addie had to grow up.
Yeah.
Addie had to stop looking at people as if they had the same heart like she did.
Yeah.
They don't move with the heart that I have. So I had to be careful. So I'm just trying to tell you, if you allow God in, he can allow you to come out.
Oh my God, listen.
Allow God to come in. And I'll tell you, because I want you to tell the audience, what are the 3 self-care routines that you had to apply in your life? Because a little commercial break. Listen, if I use 3 self-care workbooks because I was willing to work on myself. Mm-hmm. I was willing to go back to the childhood traumas and what happened to me as a child. And there was some memories that was popping up, okay, that I was scared of. But I was like, you got to allow yourself to go through it. You got to allow yourself to feel it. It was painful.
Yeah.
I had to allow myself to cry. So God allowed me to create my own self-care workbook. You see, it got work, some pages ripped, okay? But there's vision boards, there's exercises in these workbook that can help you through your journey so you're not alone. So you're actually knowing what you're doing. So I wanted to ask you, what are some 3 key self-care routines that you had to apply for sure without a shadow of a doubt into your routine?
So, to be honest, it's a little more than 3, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, listen.
So, the first thing was I had to talk to God.
Yeah.
Like, many times God is a friend.
Oh, yes.
Like, how me and you are talking.
Right.
I talk to God. I'm like, God, I found a routine. I started going to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
I started releasing. I, like, take my journal. I'm writing.
Listen, sometimes you will meet the person. You don't understand. I feel like every time she speaks, she's like showing me all the things that I used to do. Girl, when I said I used to go to the beach right after work to journal, because that would be my time. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, sorry.
And I had to be honest with myself.
Yeah.
Mo, what did you do?
Yeah.
What are you like? I had to hold myself accountable for what I did.
Because some people, and that's that facing you.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to do that.
No, for sure.
I'm good.
No, I was surprised. Like he fumbled a bag. What? No, baby.
Okay, you are the bag, but he's the bag too.
He is the bag too.
Let's talk about that.
No, like I really dislike when people say that, and like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about, because that's a child of God.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
y'all may not have a line, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're not gonna talk about like that person. I hate when people,
that person don't matter. No. Everyone play their fault.
Well, let me say.
Yeah.
I hate when people do this. Let me say what I hate.
Yeah.
I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
You was in my life, pouring into me, doing all this stuff, running around me. I'm like, bro, I'm getting my tooth put out.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Right.
I'm sick. He bring me stuff. I graduated with my bachelor's and master's. He was right there.
Exactly.
So why am I gonna kick you down now?
Exactly.
So
I wasn't kicking you down then.
No, of course there were some things that some folks that I may have, he may not have liked, and I may not like.
Yeah.
But that's everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that I hate when people do that, because it's like we don't do that.
Yeah. Just take accountability.
Yeah, I took accountability. Like, okay, Monica, what did you do?
Yeah.
You were assuming a lot.
Right.
You were nagging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I said nagging in the sense of like, because I was in this funky place, trying to discover who I am, I'm like, I felt like he had to validate me in a sense.
And it's not like your needs didn't matter.
No.
But it's just, there were some negative components of the approach to it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So my approach was very negative.
Right.
I was crying out for help and I didn't know how to
communicate.
Right.
You
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm like, well, you need, no, I'm at fault too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Of course, and that's cool, but I had to hold myself accountable for my own actions.
Right.
Because I did some stuff.
Right.
I'm not going to be like, oh no, that's why when people ask what happened, it was just
we had to make a decision to grow apart.
Yeah,
and sometimes it may not be a mutual decision, but you have to do what's best for you.
Yeah, but with us, to be honest, it was a mutual decision.
Right.
And we're both able to walk away.
Right.
He learned some things, I've learned some things, and I'm going to hold on to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
cherish that.
I'm going to cherish that because he taught me a lot. You
right.
know, and people don't understand, like, people come in your life and they teach you lessons.
Oh, yeah.
Teach you.
People don't think that, though.
Like,
everyone that you meet is going to be a lesson. You just got to be, wake up to be like, okay, what you going to teach me?
Yeah. Rather it's
what do I need to learn?
You know what I'm saying? Like, now from learning from the way because there was things that he was saying, you like, I'm like, you wouldn't repeat something if it's not true.
Correct.
So I had to face what he said. I'm like, you know what? You need to work on this.
Right.
So I had to face myself.
Yeah. It wasn't
not easy.
Oh goodness.
Oh girl. I tried going to work out and stuff like that. I'm like, nah.
You be boohoo crying, lifting them weights.
Work internal.
Yeah.
I know people are different, but me, I had to figure out myself.
Yeah.
And I was in a negative place because I was at my old workplace and oh my God.
You ain't gotta talk about that, Jay.
But God bless. I learned from my supervisor and all that stuff, and I'm grateful. But it was just getting very negative for me. So I was in a place like I had to learn to trust God even in the darkness.
Right.
Because I'm like, God, you're gonna take me out of
this.
So I had to amount my trust even more in God.
Yeah.
And I definitely journaled, affirmed myself.
Right.
And I talked about it.
Yeah.
I cried. Listen, I have a whole video journal in my phone. I'm recording. I'm talking to myself. I'm crying. I'm speaking life into myself and everything like that. But I had to learn how to pick me up.
Yeah.
Honestly, and then it's the way God wanted me to pick
That's
me
a different
up.
Type of strength.
Oh, listen.
To be able to pick up the pieces.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Bruh, let me tell you, when you realize certain things in your life, you're not willing to compromise.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not willing to compromise my marital destiny.
Right.
I'm not willing to compromise my destiny
because
overall.
I didn't want to heal my traumas. I didn't want to face myself.
Yes.
That's how you become who you truly are in God. When you're able to face yourself, like, here are some things that you need to work out.
Yeah.
You know how they say work out your own salvation? Mm-hmm. That's that.
Yeah,
you need to go back. Right. You need to go back over there and revisit that. No, I don't want to see why my mom. You should.
You have to.
Because then you'll understand why your mom had to move the way she did. Yeah. You'll understand why your dad had to move. Like, I had to forgive my dad.
Yeah.
Because, like, me forgiving my dad allowed me to understand where he is even now. Mm-hmm. You know? People don't understand that. If you understand that your dad was a child too.
Bruh.
That your mom was an
adult, but
listen,
you a child.
Your mom was a child too. She needed love. He needed love. They needed to be held.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that you wasn't held when you needed to be held. Now hold yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Listen, when you hug yourself, it helps. Like you know how many times I had to hug myself.
Yes.
I'm trying to tell you. Until now my kids hug me, but you know what I'm saying? But there was a season where I had to hug myself because my bad habit was always sticking myself in cliques, putting myself in groups and thinking that's going to sustain and satisfy me when God is my only sustainer.
Oh, God. And
I had to learn that through the hard way. Yeah. You'll learn God sometimes through detour.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, if you detour, that's fine. But he said he going to be like, but you still going to get to know me and what I have for you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just going to have to swallow that hard pill of, okay, well, I did this wrong and I should have never said this and I should have never gone to that place. You're going to have to face that, you know? So I know you said prayer and community and journaling really helped you. Mm-hmm. What do you think about working out played a part in your journey?
Working out. See, the thing is, I haven't been consistent, so
Right.
I don't want to lie.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm at this place where I value myself, where I want to do that. I want to take care of myself. Like,
Right.
I think, you know, a lot of people lose their identity when they get married because they don't really know themselves.
Listen,
I want to be fortified. Like, baby, you got to do what you got to do, baby.
Yeah,
I'm going to go work out.
Right.
I got to,
right.
like, listen.
And I feel
gotta
like,
cater to myself.
Listen, and people don't understand that they just, I know how to say in Creole, they stick themselves under their spouses, and that was my bad habit. I was a clinger, you know. I'll cling.
Cling.
Not to the old rugged cross, but I was clinging. You feel me? Like, I held on, and it was like, that's not good. Yeah. You gotta let him breathe.
Yes.
You know, like,
that's a vital. Listen,
gotta let him breathe. Ladies. But sometimes, listen, your trauma's gonna be like, he breathing on somebody else.
Yeah, listen,
don't think like that. Okay?
Let him breathe.
Just let him go.
Let him breathe. If you want alone time, let him do that.
That time should be placed in building yourself, making sure you're building on your confidence. Because that's what I was doing when I had to let him breathe, child. That was new to me. I'm like, breathe. I'm breathing fine. Why you can't breathe? But I had to. I was like, okay, Addie, what can we do to replace that time of him doing him and you doing something else? And I was journaling. I would listen to affirmation. I would just put my headphones on, listen to podcasts, just things I can do that wasn't either hanging out with friends and telling me, girl. Mm-hmm. And he breathing all right. No, you know, like, I don't want to hear that.
I can't even have that type of negative
right.
community.
So it's like, I didn't want to hear that. So I had to ask God, what can I do to, you know, fill in the time that I would be with him? What can I do around that time? And I was building myself. Mm-hmm. That's why the healing journey wasn't foreign to me, because even though we had to split apart, I was not new to the tools that I needed to use in my journey. Definitely. Even though I was broken, I still had to find the strength to pick up the journal, pick up the pen, and just reaffirm who I am in God, because it's in the memories that, or in his word, that God can show you who you are, because we can easily forget, you know. So I had to do that. So yeah, girl. Yes. So what I wanted to say was, I know we're approaching the end.
Already?
And listen, already, child. Yes, and I wanted to say thank you so much for coming on to the Healing Podcast, because I want the community to feel that you're not the only one going through heartbreak. You're not the only one being challenged in your journey of life. And you have sisters and brothers that you can turn to that has become her. Okay? And so I want to let you guys know you can do it too. And the tools that was effective for her or myself, if it's not effective to you, use the things that just makes you feel good. If it makes you feel good, and if it makes you grow, then that's what's best for you at this time, okay? So, again, thank you so much for tuning into the Healing Podcast. You guys have a healing and awesome journey. 2024. Wait, before we close, because I want to declare, okay, because I have a speaker here. We're going to declare life unto you guys. 2024 is the year of the manifestation. No, what is it called?
I'm going to say establishment.
The establishment of who you are in God. We're going to declare life over you. I'm going to let her go first. We are going to declare life over you, because once it hit 12 a.m., January 1st, may God allow you to walk into your destiny purpose.
Yeah.
Sis Seide, go ahead.
I love speaking the word, and I'm the prophetic gonna come out.
It's deep in here.
So I'm gonna declare for everybody.
Yes.
I declare and decree that you will walk into who God is calling you to be.
Yes.
Do not compromise. When God says let it go, just let it go.
Yes.
I declare and decree that you will heed unto the voice of God.
Yes.
I declare and decree that you will be rooted in God. Not man, but God himself. I declare and decree that you will be whole and healed in Jesus' name.
Yes.
Because this is one of my favorite Proverbs 14 verse 1. It talks about a wise woman that establishes, that builds her home, but a foolish woman that tears her own home with her hands. May you be a wise woman that builds your home upon the rock, the solid foundation, which is of God. All right. I declare and decree that your mind will be whole. I declare and decree that you will be whole internally. You don't need a man to validate you, baby. The Lord says that you are precious than rubies. You are far more precious than that. He said you are the apple of his eye. So why do you need to find your validation from men? Come on. Listen, daddy may not have been there. That's okay. Mama may not have been there, but that's okay. Who is the author of your life? Come on. Who is saying to you, God has said, knew you in the womb of your mother. He has consecrated you, right? Come on. And I've been talking about that because you telling me, God, you consecrated me for 9 months, meaning that there is mysteries in your heart. God will not allow you to derail. Believe in the destiny that God is telling you, because if God's telling you, let it go, let it go. If He tell you not to be that person's friend, believe God. He does not want you to derail. It is not in His will for you to perish. And I'm very passionate because listen, this is me. I declare and decree that you will walk in healing. I declare and decree that you will be whole. I declare and decree that you will accomplish that what God has told you to do. I declare and decree that every dormant thing in your womb will be awakened in Jesus' mighty name. But guess what? You have to contend for it. I could declare and decree, but if you don't contend what is speaking over your life, I can't fight for you, my sister, my brother. But you better get on your hands and your knees, and you better humble yourself unto God and seek His face and let God restore you. Watch God blow your mind, because I promise you, Addie, come on 2024 is my year. I'm not letting up. Listen I'm not letting up.
And don't.
I'm about to be 30 years old. I'm not letting up. I've been through too much already. God has given me joy. I'm gonna rejoice in joy. I may cry, but I'd rather be in anguish and know that God is gonna give me joy. And I'm with Him, right? Like God is my solid foundation. I could confidently say that. I don't need a man around me. Do I want a man? Of course I want to cater to my man. Listen, don't get me wrong. Come on. But he's not gonna become an idol. Marriage will not be an idol to me. Nothing will. God has to be an addition. My addition, baby. We gonna co-collab, do what we gotta do, multiply, be fruitful and multiply. So that's what I want to speak over y'all. Like, God truly loves you. You know, and if you're not willing to face yourself, sweetie, and if what works for you, and you think a man is gonna take you like that, baby, nah, you gotta run, because a man wants a safe space.
And we keep saying man, but your future won't even accept you without you being who God called you to be.
But sometimes we don't walk in it. That's the honest truth. But I really declare and decree that y'all will really take heed, because this not no fake. Even if it's such one person, one person. May God bless you. May you excel. May you accelerate. May your healing journey just go by fire, by force. Take it by throttle. Take it by fire, by force. Be intentional about yourself. Be intentional about your destiny. Because your mother been through so much. Your daddy been through so much. You need to be the one that breaks the curses.
Because you cannot keep holding them to a standard you're not willing to stand for yourself. Okay, you can't keep saying daddy is your fault, mama is your fault. No, you need to now stand in a gap where they failed you, so you can rise to the standard that God has for you. We have to stop blaming people for where we fall short. We have to now. We are at an age, you know, when Jesus had grew at a certain age, He said, "Now I'm about my Father's business." At some point, you got to be about your business.
Exactly.
You got to be about your healing. You got to be about your growth. You got to be about seeing better for yourself. And like I said, for some seasons, it may cause you to be apart. Because if you really look back at where you thought you would have been if you'd have stayed in that circle, you will see that circle ain't going nowhere but in a circle. God is pulling you out in this season. God is declaring that 2024 is that door that you will walk into. God is declaring that this is your season to grow and be better. But listen, at the end of the day, God can speak it to you, but it's until you come in agreement. Nothing can happen until you come into agreement with it. So we want to come in agreement with your healing. We want to come in agreement with your growth. We want to come in agreement that you will heal from that heartbreak. You will heal from that distrust or that damage that happened to you as a child. We understand that pain. we understand that ugly cry. You understand what I mean? That ugly cry.
Listen, we here.
I mean, depression was at my door.
Come on, right there, sleeping with me.
It was like I thought you forgot about me. I'm like, I thought I did too.
I was cuddled up with depression.
Listen, my best friend.
God, Jesus.
My best friend was depression, and you know how I knew that was when I started going in my memory. When I was in elementary, when I would go home, I was always wrapping myself in a blanket, sleeping. That's a sign of depression.
Yeah.
Your parents are not going to catch that because they're in the kitchen, and I'm talking about my single mom, right? She was in the kitchen making sure dinner was on the table. She was just coming from work, so she's tired. So she's not only working, she's working on herself, she's working for the kitchen, she's working for her family, she's working. And not every area for you she's able to attend to.
Yeah.
So depression knew my address.
Yeah.
But God knew my home.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Come on.
God knew my home. God knew that he still had a place in my heart. That's why in the areas that I could have died, God said, no, I'm going to call you to rise.
Come on.
I'm going to call you from out of this.
Yeah.
You don't have to die at the place that you're in. That heartbreak don't have to change the loving person you are.
Come on.
Because some people would rather choose to be bitter than to be healed.
Yeah.
And being healed don't mean you have to kumbaya with the person. It just means that you have to now choose to be better, even through that fire that you've been through. Choosing to be better.
Definitely. I definitely want to say, seek the kingdom of God first.
Oh yeah.
Like, it sounds like, I don't want to say it's an aesthetics thing, because it's not. It's not. You're gonna cry.
Listen,
you're gonna hurt.
Yeah.
When you seek the kingdom of God, it's not aesthetics, baby. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I may not be aesthetic, whatever,
Yeah.
but truly seek the kingdom of God.
Yeah.
And however that looks like to you.
Yeah.
Posture yourself before God, because I realize that when I don't do it God's way, I don't experience the right hand of God.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, when the right hand of God is upon my life, I feel it. I'm moving acceleratedly.
Yes.
Right? So I want to encourage you guys, truly.
Yeah.
Find a community.
Yeah.
Hit up Addie.
Listen, call. You know, as a life coach, call me. 30 minutes. No, listen, right? But call your people. Call. Because there was a point in my journey where I had to stop calling. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this part right quick, but he's going to come on the next episode. I was calling him. This what happened. Crying.
Yeah.
He's like, sis, you going to get through it.
Yeah.
You going to get, and there was a point where I was crying so bad, I thought he hung up. He was still there.
That was my right hand,
Listen,
too.
accountability. Listen, shout out to Ash. Listen, shout you out, man. Listen, this man was there. He was like, you going to get through it, sis. You going to get through it. And I got through it. And there was a point where God said, okay, now, we can't keep using this crutch.
Yeah, you got to let it go.
You know, because there's a season for everything. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to call him. But I was still crying. I was still like, God, why? Why is this? Why? And then he was like, well, talk to me. Journal it. Let's talk. Because there was a point where I needed to call, but there was a point where I needed to go to God. So there's a season for everything. That's why I tell you guys, find where you are in your journey. Find where you are, pinpoint it, and make sure that you don't move from God. Don't move from God. I don't care how, like you said, however it looks to you, don't move from God. All right? Now listen, you have anything else you want to say?
I just want to say I genuinely pray, rather it be in 2025, you found this video.
Yes.
Rather be later 2024, rather be today, tomorrow, whatever, later
whenever
on day
it
from
hits
this,
you.
whenever it is, I pray that this truly resonates with you.
Yes.
You know, this is not, I doubt you do this for the aesthetics, right? So it's like you're
aesthetics.
Come
Girl,
on,
listen.
listen, because you genuinely want to do it.
I put my makeup on right here, but when I'm in my journey, girl, I couldn't find the pencil to. I couldn't find it, girl. So healing ain't pretty. You just gotta want to go through it, baby, because you gonna come out as gold. Okay?
Listen,
you gonna come out unrecognizable.
Come on, I love it here. I really do.
Thank you.
I really do, and I love being healed with God. Yes. I love it because let me tell y'all something. God don't want to break your heart.
He doesn't.
Your heart is so delicate and so precious to God. Like, like God loves you. And guess what? Whenever something happens, just arise from it. All right, Lord.
Yeah.
You know, like all right, help me grow.
Listen, there's this song that was like, it was like, you're broken. I promise you, if I play it, you probably cry. Listen, it says you're broken, but I needed you here. I needed you at your broken place, because this is where you hear me. Because when it was loud, you was good. You was like, oh yeah, I got it. Now that I got you here, can you hear me?
Yeah.
And you be like, yes, God, I can hear you. You know, and that's just how I was. That's how my journey was. But God never left my side. And those who know me, knew me from the club. Come on. God never left my side. That's why I'd be the only one worshiping in the club. Don't listen. They would call me crazy, and that was okay. But God never left me. That's why I was able to be where I am today. When I gave my heart and my journey to God, oh, that was it. That was it. Now, it didn't look pretty throughout. I didn't, sometimes I will, catch a temper tantrum. But God said, if you trust me, you can see that I'm about to do a new thing in you.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to say again?
No, just take heed, honestly.
If I keep asking her that, she gonna
go
in.
I'm gonna go in because I love.
One more time.
But one more time, I'm gonna just say this though. Honestly, seek the kingdom of God and seek a community.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, stop playing with your life.
Yes.
The enemy want to kill, steal, and destroy you. Why you want to play with your destiny?
Exactly.
Stop playing with your destiny. Like, you know what, God? Yes, I'm hurt. I'm mad. I'm angry.
Go through it, but be intentional.
But listen, though, be intentional.
Yeah.
I promise you, God, it is not in God's will for you to perish.
Exactly.
Not at all. I don't know who told y'all, but that's not the Lord Jesus that we talking about. All right? Because he loves you so much. And I just want to say that, like, it is not in his will for you to perish. However that looks like. Not at all. It's not him. It's not his title. It's not him. Not at all. Even the wicked one. He's like, yo, I want to, like Paul, right? Before he was a Paul, he was a Saul. He was killing all these Christians, but guess what?
Right.
He was bound for 3 days. Exactly. The same person he was about to kill, pull up on, is the one that God used him as a vessel to him.
And
so
that's
it's like,
why you got to be careful how you treat people.
Exactly.
You just never know.
But that's all I want to say. Listen, it's not in God's will for you to perish, and truly seek the kingdom of God and find a community. And
find sisters. It's time. Find sisters of healing. Not just for going out. You need people that know how to plant themselves. Yeah.
No, listen, I know. Ladies, I love the aesthetics. I love it all as well. Yeah. But there comes a point in time where you got to be serious about your life, because you looking for a man of God, but you need substance.
Exactly. You know
what I'm saying?
And you better know who you are.
Come on.
Don't be going in. And one thing people find themselves doing is going into one relationship, the next relationship, same outcome, because you're the same outcome.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want to change us. We say, oh, it's the other person. There is a possibility, but there is a great possibility it's you too.
It's you too.
Somewhere down the line.
There's two
sides
to a token.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
you just better make sure your side is clean.
Yeah, there's a coin and there's always two sides to a token. Every token.
Exactly.
I always say that. Yeah. I always say that you are not perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to learn from somebody else as much as I can learn from you. And that's all I want to say. I genuinely love you guys, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
May God bless you, and I pray that, 2024 year will be a year of consistency for you, that you don't stop this, God will truly bless your endeavors. You know what I'm saying? Like, I speak that over your life, because you are very genuine.
Thank you.
And I pray that God will continue to heal you, continue to root you even deeper, sis. That, like, listen, this don't stop here. There's conferences coming out of this thing. There's workshops coming out of this thing. That God will put you to work to really tend to his people. Because people are so broken hearted, they're so shattered. They don't even know. Right. They can't recognize the voice of love.
See themselves to come out.
You know what I'm saying? But when you love, when you speak in love and you speak in kindness, walk in that. I declare that over your life.
Thank you.
I really do.
Thank you. And I really appreciate that word, because some people don't even understand that they can come out too. I was one of that one.
Yeah.
There's no way I can come out of. Yes, you can. It was a still small voice. Yes, you can. And I'll be that loud voice. Yes, you can. You can come out of it. So I appreciate you for coming on.
No problem.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, okay? Turn on that notification bell, because we are having guest upon guest upon guest, because this is the year. Right, sis? We're going to toast it. We're going to toast it up to establishment. Mm-hmm. That's the word. And fulfillment. Look, and abundance and prosperity and elevation. Yes.
Yes. Internal, external.
Listen,
spiritually, mentally,
it's all
emotionally.
In there. It's all in there. Look, and I always say mind, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit. You guys have a blessed day.
Bye, y'all.